Hi everyone, this is the Eagle from Vinous Reverie, and right now it's time for the October Wine Club selection. Alright, so we'll start with the white wines for the Adventurous Clubs, and I think usually we have fun selections. So the first white wine, it's a classic. It's Albarino from Gran Reserva producer, one of the oldest producers in the area. So Albarino comes from the Galicia region in northwest Spain, specifically within the Rioja sub-region. But this one, this is specific Albarino, comes from Val de Salms sub-region, one of the 5 sub-regions within the Rioja, and it's the wettest and the coldest of the sub-regions. So the wines grow on granite soils, and it's very close proximity to the water. So you get like a very aromatic expression of the grape, both from the soils and from the vicinity to the water. And it's because of the character, it's also the high acidity, and really the salinity I think comes out because of its ocean influence. So I think it's a classic example of Albarino and very pretty wine. All right, the second white wine is from Terre Brûlée, and it's South African Chenin Blanc. So it comes from Vincent Karim. He's actually based out of Reverie in the Loire Valley, and Reverie is probably the most renowned region in the whole world for making Chenin Blanc. So when he saw the opportunity to work in South Africa, because his wife, I think she's South African, he saw the similarities that he could make great examples of Chenin Blanc in South Africa. And the Chenin Blanc is probably the best known wine that comes out of South Africa. It also comes with granite soils. It's a classic example of kind of richer style, like you get like brioche notes, some honey notes, the classic Granny Smith apple profile. So you've never had a South African Chenin Blanc. I think this is a great introduction to the wine. So in the Adventurous Club, you get these 2 white wines. All right. Then in the mixed selection, you get the Shannon Blanc, and this really fun wine from the Milosh winery in Croatia. And it's based on the Plavac Mali grape. So Plavac Mali is actually a progeny to Languedoc Konstantinsky. That's the name of the grape, and it's an Asian variety. You probably never heard of this grape, but you might have heard of the grape that actually came to California. So from Croatia, this grape traveled to Puglia in southern Italy, where it's called Primitivo. And Primitivo, as some of you probably heard that name before, when it came from Italy to California, it became Zinfandel. So Plavac Mali has a relationship to Zinfandel. But what's interesting about this grape is that the region where this wine comes from in Croatia, it actually has the longest coastal line of vineyards in anywhere in Europe. So even though the wine is kind of fuller-bodied, it's got this great acidity that makes it like very versatile with like seafood dishes. And actually, when you taste it, it doesn't taste like Zinfandel. It tastes more like a great Langhe Nebbiolo. You get these beautiful silky tannins, kind of the cherry notes, and it's just a beautiful wine. So if you've never had it, I think this is a great introduction to the grape, or just red wines from Croatia. All right, the second red wine from the Adventurous Wine Club, it's La Tradición Garnacha. So this comes from the Sobreros sub-region within the San Gredos mountain range. So San Gredos Mountains, they're about an hour travel west of Madrid in Spain. So it's high elevation Garnacha based on some old vines. A lot of the vines in this cuvee are from 50 to 80 years old. And this is not a Grenache, sort of like the Rhone Grenache that you find Chenin Blanc, or even the Priorat Grenache, which are big, full-bodied wines. This is a lighter expression of the wine. It's almost Pinot-esque Grenache, so it's very delicate, very food-friendly. I think it's just as versatile as Pinot Noir. Yeah, if you ever had a Garnacha from San Gredos Mountains, this is a great introduction to that wine. All right, so that's the Adventurous Club. Next, let's go to the High Society Club and some fun wines. All right, we have from Sierra Cantabria, a classic Gran Reserva. Gran Reserva is kind of nomination. You have different classifications. In Rioja, you have Crianza, Reserva, Gran Reserva, and that just means how long they stayed in barrel. And Gran Reservas are under the kind of regional laws. They have to be in barrel for at least 5 years. Well, this one is a 2011, so it's actually been in barrels for 10 plus years, kind of gaining more complexity. And the good things about being released so late is the wine is ready to drink now. You don't have to wait for it additionally in the bottle and kind of cellar it at home. And this is kind of, I think, a classic Tempranillo. You got great kind of cherry vanilla notes, leather, tobacco. The wine is very rich. It's almost comparable to California Napa Cab. It's so kind of robust and beautifully rich in concentrated. So I think if you're High Society, you'll enjoy this wine. All right, and finally, the second wine from the High Society Club, La Clos Produce. That's the name of the producer, but it literally translates into Lost Vineyards. So the concept behind the winery is two friends started this winery, and they're based in Languedoc. And they look for these lost vineyards, and the reason these vineyards are lost is because they might be isolated, or their production, the crop is very low, or you can't work them with machines, so they get abandoned. And a lot of these vineyards, they get abandoned. You get a lot of old vines there. And old vines, what's great about them is that the crop is less and the grapes are more concentrated. And the idea is that you get more concentrated, delicious wines from crop like that. So this is a 80% Grenache, 20% Cinsault old vine blend. And it's just like a beautifully aromatic wine from the Languedoc. I think it's fantastic. So these are the two selections for the High Society Club, but all the wines are fun and I think you guys will enjoy them. Great. Thank you. Bye.